Warning, 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 warning. This is a emergency broadcast. Code red, hood, code red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and hand me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back on the air, and it's a bad number for a Friday 13, I understand. We got a moon out that we're going to put the... That was. But other than that, I heard that we have a name. We know where... I don't know where you're from, but I heard it was Folie.
Yeah, we have.
So where is he from?
Folie, Deux, comic book
Deux.
artist, black budget comics. Folie.
Folie.
Where are
you? Where I'm from is a secret. But it neighbors Aaron's home state. Let's say that.
Oh, so I know where he's at.
So yeah, you know exactly where he is.
I know where he's at, then.
I could drop you off at Harrisburg International Airport, and you'd go out.
Houses.
You'd go from there, and Uncle would be PI from there. Yeah. But yeah, right. Uncle, Foley's the guy who did this comic that we were looking at last week. He called in last week. Do you want to take another look at it real quick?
That one. That was the one I was just reading about this on my last broadcast.
Yeah. So
this person. And now we know who we're talking. Now we know who we're looking at.
Yeah.
Man,
Bill
I don't like the butt.
You don't like the butt?
Really?
Wow.
That butt too chub. Kind of have a little thinner there, though. Be a little thin, I'd say.
Oh, okay. That's.
I meant the butt.
Okay. Well, we all have our preferences.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll try to be more accommodating in the next issue.
Yeah. The rocket here, I don't understand what it means, but
the rocket
up in here.
Well, I could think of something that it might be in reference to, but it probably isn't. I'm just reading too much into this.
Soldier.
Soldier Man.
I cannot believe that Uncle didn't like the butt. Are you serious?
It's too...
It's too much?
It has a little bit too much. What is it like? Women's butts are thin. What are you yapping? Sidekick is on his action laughing.
Are they?
No, I mean, some are. I mean, I guess I'll just have to, I'll have to reshape my design process, get different reference models.
I don't know.
Uncle's, he makes the rules, so.
No, I understand, but I gotta take issue because I thought it was really good shape there. I thought he came up with something real nice as far as that part of it. I had other things I didn't like in there, but that was one of the things I figured nobody would object to. I'm surprised, Uncle.
There.
I'm wrong. Yeah.
Chuckacelli.
Okay.
You were wrong there.
Hey,
you weren't ready for the Uncle Factor.
No, I was not.
Uncle Factor.
I was not ready.
The only thing why I'm asking this question, designer, not you, is because I admit I was with strippers that was still thinner. That on the point of view of because they do the exercise.
That's true.
That's why I mentioned it. That's all.
Interesting.
I want to.
It takes all types. You're right.
One that I knew.
It reminds me of that scene in Total Recall where Schwarzenegger's sitting there in a chair about to go on his vacation. They're asking him what sort of body type he wants his woman to be in the simulation. Like, do you like thin, athletic, or voluptuous?
Don't laugh at it. That's true, because people say that. They have to think they ask these questions.
Sure.
What do you laugh at, sidekick?
I
mean, this is the way they talk. Men have a position of trying to understand bodies check.
Yeah,
but
see,
of course, we know what?
Well, I was thinking, Uncle, you bring up strippers. I got to say something. Strippers in Atlanta, strippers in New York, strippers in Jersey, they would be awfully popular with that shaped butt. I'm telling you right now. I don't know.
Well, maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not saying you're wrong. Listen, there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer, Uncle.
No, yeah, exactly. No wrong answer.
It's heavy in the back end.
I mean, the next issue takes place in Korea, so I think we'll find some thinner butts for Uncle to enjoy quite easily.
Oh, so you're gonna do those?
Oh yeah.
Oh well, then.
Something to look forward to, Uncle.
Let's see what he comes out with.
Can't wait for Black Budget episode 2 or issue 2.
Issue 2 coming out.
Number 2.
Oh yeah.
You know
I mean, I can't say when because.
Oh, you don't know when.
You know, I'm not very good at doing things on time, as we discussed. But.
Watch it. This is
I'm grabbing the comic here. I'm going to put it back in a safe place. We want to keep that in mint condition. Thank you very much.
Oh, it'll be worth something someday.
I'm sure it will be.
Well,
I know it.
yeah.
That's not just the first issue. That's the first print run. So, I mean, hey.
Yes.
Print run.
Uncle, are you aware of these sort of things that make certain comics valuable and like?
Of course, I'm used to. I went down to the middle of Orange today.
The city of Orange.
And I was walking around because I had to wait on a train, of course. And I was going to go into this comic book place.
Oh, comic shop? On what street? Gliselle?
Right where they had the beer thing.
Yeah, right by the circle, downtown Orange.
I was going to start bringing up, but I think when I get.
You didn't go in the comic shop, but you looked in the window?
I looked in the window. I don't know the doors were shut, but it said open. I would have picked out a couple of comics to talk about.
Sure.
I would do that, and next time I'll get someone to get that to talk about it.
Folie, do you have any?
Folie, wait a minute.
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
talking.
What am I thinking?
I'll give you the comic. I'll take a couple, and you gonna mail it to him.
Oh,
Okay.
we're gonna mail him copies.
Copy so he can copy off of it.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
See, I'm thinking ahead, sidekick.
Professor Uncle has an art school project for
I have
you.
to go into project for him, so I can,
Learn from the masters.
So I'm gonna do it that way. So
Yeah.
since these guys are giving it to us, we should return the favor and get a comic strip to curl back at him.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking about doing.
What say you to that?
Get some comics too. He's got some new stuff.
Well, he can make them too.
Did I show you the Newt Gingrich comic I made, Uncle?
Comic. Where's that?
I'm trying to think.
No, I don't think I saw
I wish
that.
I had my cell
The
phone.
only one I saw was that one.
I'll have to show you that. Let me see. I can pull it up. I'll pull it up and I'll show it to you. So give me a moment here. But in the meantime,
How is the phones running? Now I have to make sure the phones are properly running.
we are going to have to wait. Chuck is having some technical difficulties.
Still working on it.
No, you're not seeing my messages still, Aaron. I am okay.
Oh, okay.
You're okay then.
Good.
I'm okay. We don't have a caller
hit
yet.
The phone ring, then hit the phone calls. I mean, hit the number out if he's okay.
That's what I was asking Aaron to do in the message, but he didn't see it, Uncle. I'm sorry.
That's what I have to straighten his head out.
Sidekick's got
sometimes.
problems.
Yeah, I know he does.
What else is new?
No.
If you'd like to call in and join this conversation, do so by calling 319-527-5016. We'd love to have you on the line here. Ask a question of our guest, Folie.
Folie's guest.
Something about comics. Ask him about his comic. Ask him anything. Any old thing.
We will have to do.
Mhm.
We get an orange.
Yes.
Go get in that store
Go to the shop.
and go to the shop there and pick up a lot of more comic strips.
Sure.
So we can send them to him.
Yeah.
So a copy of them. So
I
he can
appreciate
get
it.
A copy off to you. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
There'll
this
be
is the
what is
comic
this
I
here?
made. This is Newt Gingrich. Do you recognize him, Uncle?
Oh, Gingrich.
This is so I'm doing a comic on my
This
website.
is the guy. Look like his son. Gingrich.
Looks like whose son?
Yours.
You think Newt looks like my son?
Except the white hairs.
Yeah, the white hair's a little different.
But the white hair's off.
Okay.
I'm talking
Okay,
about.
okay.
It is also in the chat room at Ocelli.com for you chatters and people that aren't there. We do have a live chat room, which is active, and I just put the
I
Newt
can hear
Gingrich
him
comic
clicking.
in there.
So
Okay, then.
there we go, Uncle. We're talking comics tonight. A lot of comic action going on.
Comics going on. This is. You understand.
It's a fun art form.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a comic night. So at least now we have somebody that's really honest on comics.
Mm-hmm.
So, what else can we talk about? What are you yapping about?
Folie, what are we missing here?
what are we missing?
I know there's something on the tip of your tongue that you just need to get out. What is it?
Well, I mean, I'm abstaining from the liquor this evening, but I hope both of you are just as wasted as I was when I called in last.
I had a beer. I had a
I saw it over there.
Well,
No counting beers. Not unless we're having a test.
I'm not allowed to.
No more beer testing unless it's a test beer.
Now listen.
What now?
I can make it up to you. I can go get that wine glass, one for each of us, down in the refrigerator. You want me to go get that and we'll drink that on air now?
Oh, okay.
Was that better? I make it better.
Well, okay.
Well, I think we should do that.
Yeah, let's use.
We're making a party.
Well,
This is an art school party.
Well, let's start having something.
I didn't ask you about the parties, Folie. Why don't I'm going to go to the refrigerator?
Yeah, well, before you go to the parties, though, there's a couple of questions in the chat room that I could actually run by Uncle, so this way you have time to go do that. And one of them is about what is Uncle's favorite comic, and does he know what his favorite comic artist is?
I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. You like a Marvel guy? You a DC guy? Do you like Batman or Spider-Man? Or, did you like some of the crazier stuff? You like the really big, thick books, the small ones? I mean, give us an idea of what Uncle's comics would be.
Books. Big, thick books.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars is very popular to me.
Oh, you like the Star Wars comics?
Yeah, comics of Star Wars.
Those are pretty cool.
Something.
Mm-hmm.
That's good stuff.
Stomachs, because what I like, well, I can make it easier, is say I like action-packed kind of
action.
things, and that's action, so that starts it. So any pictures that look have action in them, even though, even that guy that passed away a while back,
Stan Lee?
Stan Lee,
the guy who created Spider-Man, you thinking of?
Spider-Man, and there's another one, the guy that shooting gun. It's a guy that was sidekick knows his name.
A guy with a gun. My favorite is Punisher. Is that who you're talking about?
No.
Okay.
I always peg Uncle as sort of a Spawn man, like the Rob Liefeld Spawn. Like that dude's got like 80 teeth in his mouth. Like that's good.
Started with a P.
Started with a P. So a guy with a gun that starts with a P?
Who is that? Who is that guy with the P?
Master P.
No, the man that died just recently.
Oh, that died?
Yeah, you said that just passed away.
See, I said Stan Lee because he died not too long ago, right?
Wait, what does this guy do? Who is he?
He's a guy they shoot. I can't think of this.
Is he an artist, a filmmaker?
No, he's a monster, made up.
Oh, did he do makeup?
Yeah,
for movies.
Terminator.
Terminator.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
You like Terminator?
Stan Winston.
Winston, was it his name?
Stan Winston, the creature shop guy.
Is he dead?
Guy.
Yeah, he died. I want to say decades ago, like at least
bummer.
15 years ago. Yeah.
Well, no, I was asking Uncle what his favorite comic was, right? And he said there was a guy with a gun.
Oh, Stan Lee.
Stan Lee.
Are you talking about Stan Lee? Of Marvel?
He made a lot
died
of comics,
recently.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Vincent Van Gogh.
Spider-Wars. Predator.
Oh, you're talking about the actor who played the Predator.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Kevin something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That was it.
He was
also
like 9
died.
feet tall.
That was the one. That was the
super
one I'm
tall.
thinking of. Predator.
That was many years ago too.
Yeah, right. I mean, because those have action into the movies. You see, it's like, oh, you got an action movie here.
Now, Uncle, we gotta be really careful with this, okay? Because this is red. It's red wine. Now, you got it? Be very careful. Just drink some off the top there. Just drink a lot off the top, I'll say.
Hey, Folie, here's the funny part, right? Two guys are drinking glasses of wine, red wine, in a closet. Can you think of a punchline? Because that's what's happening right now on Uncle.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Hey, this is dollar store wine, I'll have you know. And,
This is the last drink that he went to the store for that we had left.
Okay.
Is it Franzia? Tell me it's Franzia.
I don't know what he's
I've had that. I've used it as a name tag before, as you can well imagine. It's a little special art school party project of mine, if you catch my meaning. Yeah. So let's... It's just called Chillin' Red Wine.
Chili red wine.
Chillin'.
But the point is, for me having the red wine, they say it's okay. But even though the red wine is fine, it's the beer that I can't take as
what
much.
What about a nice white Pinot Noir? You
But
can do that?
that's still white. It ain't the red
You
wine.
were saying red, though, is what's
But
good.
red wine.
What's wrong with white?
Well, anything with wine in is okay.
Okay.
But I'm still, of course, checking. I have to check with doctor on the 25th. So now scratch that out.
Pinot Grigio.
Speaking of boxed wine and art school parties, have any of you fine gentlemen ever played Slap the Bag?
No, I haven't heard of that. What is that?
So it's a 3-person game, right? So one person has their eyes closed and they have their mouth up to the bag of the boxed wine. A second person holds it in front of their mouth, and the third person slaps it.
Oh, wow.
It's quite an experience for all parties involved.
We should try that on our next.
That could be a New Year's Revolution.
Yeah.
Slap the bag.
Slap the bag. You got a good point there, Sidekick. Now, we could do something like that for the New Year's Revolution thing. We could do that on the New Revolution.
We will certainly credit Folie Do.
Yeah.
Before we play that.
Yeah.
I hope so.
This segment brought to you by Do.
The vomit will be.
Doing that, it really gets you going on the New Year's Revolution.
Yeah, Folie, you should call into that show. You should be on the show as a guest.
Yeah, you should call in.
I'd love to. I mean, I have no idea what I'm doing even tomorrow, so I can't quite plan out for New Year's Eve quite yet. But I would love to be on. Yeah.
Well, it's open invitation. If you want to come on, you're on.
Anybody that will call that number he mentioned out on New Year's Revolution, it's whoever I call. I just have to figure out the talker, who it is, on my mind to see who I'm talking to.
Uncle,
other than that,
this wine comes.
We all can do that.
This wine comes in its own individually packaged plastic wine glass.
I know this. I'm drinking this thing.
That's what this is.
Doing stuff here.
It's like a one-off. Like you just get the glass and the. I mean, that's high efficiency right there.
Yep, it's its own wine glass already filled with red wine.
Well, we've had this before.
We have.
So we can't register.
We can't truly rate it. We've already been there, done that. But it's a nice drink to have, isn't it?
But it's something to calm me down because I have a feeling those ring calls are going to ring there, Chuck. Because I have a feeling this is not over yet.
Would you like to call? Call this number.
Call this number.
319-527-5016. Join the conversation.
Talk the conversation and let's have some chatter talk.
Yeah, we'd love to hear the chatter.
It's the Uncle Show time.
Mm-hmm.
And I got an extra person to shout out tonight. Because he told me to shout him out.
Oh.
Man, to tell you, Sidekick.
And yeah. Would you want to do it now, or do you want to save that?
Saving it.
Okay, we'll save that toward the end.
I want to save it to the end for the shout-outs.
Folie will prep you by saying, get ready for shout-outs later. Yeah. Think of somebody you might want to shout out now. You'll be prepped for that.
Yeah. Absolutely, I will.
Well, here we are now. What are we having to talk about? We got the pictures.
All I know is I'm not supposed to say anything.
Oh, that's right. He's following his rules. Now, I'm having to know what we're going to talk about. We have to talk about pictures of kind of designs on the show to know what we are going to design to draw. I like to talk about a nice artist as you are, to talk about what your artist's work can do.
Well, I mean, I have a couple of the Uncle business cards. I mean, that's a fantastic piece of work. I leave them around everywhere I go, and I sell at events. So that's the sort of thing that my art could do, you know? I mean eventually you're going to run out. You're going to need a new one, you know. You might...
always ask Chuck or ask Gusto. We'll send it to him, and he'll send them to you, because we got loads of them. And matter of fact, I need a few. I told some from students that I gave a few out. I mean,
Folie, did you have Uncle cards in the package I sent you, or was that...
you did.
Yeah,
so you sent me just your stuff, Chuck, but I believe I got some Age of Resistance cards and Uncle cards from Aaron.
Ah, there you go. Okay, I knew one of us was going to make sure you got some already. So Uncle, he already has some. Yes,
he does.
Mm-hmm.
Enough to go around, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, because we got a whole pack of them in the garage. That I have to take a few from work.
Uncle, I have an out there concept for you.
I know. You got Sidekick talking again. What do you want?
The act of handing an Uncle business card to somebody that you don't know in public is an act of creating art.
Oh, it is?
What say you to that?
It's a happening.
Well, that means a person has to be an art man, right?
They don't have to be anything. It just is art, Uncle.
Oh, well. The people, I told you today when I was getting out a few cards, I was talking to somebody, and he told me right away, I'm going to listen to this. I mean, I've got people there, if they're interested to listen, they will listen.
Good.
When they get around to it, of course. Yeah. But they're just going back and forth. So just handing his, and I need a few of his other cards, too.
We got them.
I need some of that.
Folie. Are you a performance art fan?
Fan.
Oh, I mean, I think I certainly enjoy my fair share, you know, on the subway or on the street. I was just thinking, like, the Uncle business card pitch, like, you hand it to him, right? And then you gotta have the right follow-up. You're like, dude, this is going to change your life. It's going to revolutionize your way of thinking. I've already lost, like, 40 pounds. And, you know, my hair is longer and my nails are stronger. And you just got to, like, you know, give it to him. Like, here's what you're going to get when you listen to Uncle.
Well, there's one thing about it. They do ask me, what do you talk about? I say, anything you want to talk about. I mean, go right out to the conversation. What? Oh, Sidekick?
You got to cater to the customer, yeah.
Go right to what you... Because right away, they ask that question. Main question is what you talk about. I mean, that surprised me. Actually surprises me.
No, Uncle,
because all of these people that I give cards out, they want to make sure I believe. They don't want to have no bad words in the thing. Sure. And I say, no, I'm not like that. What are you looking at, Sidekick?
Listen, next time somebody asks you what you talk about on the show, I want your answer to be this. You say, what we talk about on the show is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to talk about giving this card to you. I'm going to tell a story about it. You should be there. And you could even call in and tell me if I'm telling the story wrong. You can tell your end of the thing.
That's my idea.
You should say, I'm going to talk about you on the show.
Listen.
Whoever you're talking to, like, you're what I'm talking about.
Well, I could do that even too.
That's
Put that pitch. Yeah, right?
I have to have some other things to talk about. I mean, that's something there to talk about, Sidekick. So, now.
You could tell them you tell stories and you have conversations Uncle style.
Yeah, well,
how about that?
I'm tight. I mean, I'm shocked at hearing. Well, only persons that listen are really truthfully listen to broadcasting, because I go right off to that because hold it down. I have a card for you, and if you're interested, here's a card. Boom, and it goes from there.
It does.
To see, I'm going to listen to this guy. You know. I would know in a couple of weeks, maybe possible, he'll come up to me. I'm waiting on some of these people that come up to me and says, hey, you know something? That sounds like a good show. I'm waiting on them to tell me that.
Folie, do these experiences kind of ring familiar to you with sharing your art, taking your comic out and bringing that to the public?
Oh, certainly it does. I mean, there's people who, like, you can tell they're not interested. Like, they came up and you want to talk to them. But there's also, like, the people you get that glint in their eye. Like, they're like, oh, yeah? Like, tell me about this, you know. And it sounds like that's the experience that Uncle's having. And that's what we all strive for as artists.
Well, yeah, because and once they see my face, I would think they would get funny. They'll think about something. boy, I got to see this guy talk. You know, that's my first impression of the person. I would think the person would think would be, wow, this guy's got glasses and he's standing like that.
Yeah.
That's some kind of picture.
Exactly.
And boom, we go off from that.
I feel like the person who's going to be a true customer of this show, Uncle, is the one that if you have an interaction with them with this business card, handing them the business card, they're going to be able to kind of tell that the show is going to be interesting just having a conversation with you.
Well, yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had a student call in yet. This is what's
not yet.
puzzling me. I don't understand what's going on here.
Chapman University, where you at?
Chapman University is
Come on.
not talking. I mean, I'm just wondering, are they seriously listening? I'm wondering if are they really listening? Because at the time, I know there was one guy that had a own broadcast.
Yeah, I remembered that.
The night something his thing was.
Yeah, I listened to one of those. Yeah, it was a pretty good show.
And you listened to him?
I listened to one. I can't remember now.
And that was the guy. He was in that. But of course, I probably lost it now because I changed my phone. I forgot about his. But though he was there, and it was one guy I thought would call in.
Uncle, do you have any beef with artists that you'd like to talk about?
No.
You love them, right?
I think the artist, you get something out of the artist person. As you paint, artist something on the thing of putting it together.
Yeah.
Is a
process.
Design. I mean, actually a design where you can get, or the person get going like this artist writing down here, that down, write down, and have a person, whatever the picture is.
It is a process. You have to come up with a concept first, Uncle.
Yeah, what's the process going to be? A face, or a whole body, or
maybe it's going to be some abstract piece.
Abstract person, or like example, the boat show that we had with Titanic.
Oh.
Where what's his name was painting the ghoul.
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, what are you laughing at? So I'm trying to explain something here.
That's a good representation of figure drawing. Yeah.
It is.
Drawing is what I'm trying to point out.
Well, sure, you're right. You're right.
Mean, this is what I'm talking about. I bet you could make a guy nice, decent one. This fella here we're talking to right now.
I'll bet.
I mean, that picture. Memorize in your head. Of course, I don't have the picture, but memorize in your head, and you can draw that.
A figure drawing of Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
Okay,
you can think of that, because it's a show that she was old, but of course, when she was young, this is what she looked like.
Oh, yeah. It's good to have that memory. Folie, any thoughts?
Any thoughts, my mom?
Dude, I mean, I'm just thinking about more ways to get this card out there, because ultimately I've got them. It's on me. Like, I got a couple ideas, right? Thinking about, like, like some magic trick type stuff, right? You got to get into, like, reverse pickpocketing. Like, you slip into somebody's pocket and they don't even know that you did it. Like, they get home, they're emptying their pockets, taking off their pants. It's like, Uncle, the broadcast. Like, they're definitely going to check it out. You know?
Where did this come from?
Okay.
Gentlemen,
I have to interject here. This is important. It's
What's
from the chat room, straight from the chat room.
Oh, the chat boys. What are they talking about?
Creative Accidents. We know him, don't we?
Oh, yes. What does he want? I know he's going to be talking tonight.
The question, Creative Accidents, who is, by the way, an Uncle the Broadcast Street Team.
Oh, yeah.
Super member.
Team. Oh, wait. We're going to make him one, too, the one we're talking
captain, no less.
He's a captain?
We've just made him one.
How did he make that one? Who I didn't know about?
He is what we say he is, Uncle.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, Creative Accidents asks, are sandwich artists really artists?
Sandwich artists?
Like at Subway, the person making your sandwich at Subway. Is that art?
I remember when I was in the
Now, wait a minute. Now you're going a little too far, sidekick. Now he's talking food.
Yeah, well,
that's the problem here.
let's see what Folie. What say you to this
What
Subway
is this
situation?
Subway sandwich? What do you think about this?
What I think about it is, I remember just putting in endless applications for any kind of like, designer, artist, like on these online forums, and like you get the email alerts, and one of them was like sandwich artist at Subway, and I just wanted to like throw my computer out the window.
The problem
that really happened.
It really did. The algorithm, the machine learning told me
artist.
You must assemble these sandwiches.
The problem I have with that is I might get hungry after a few minutes. And when you talk about the sandwich, of course, make it an honest
Uncle, I feel
a sandwich.
I feel at ease and relaxed right now.
Because you're having the wine.
Well,
that's why I put it up here.
Well, clearly that's part of it.
I know it is.
But the other part is that I'm not worried about the machines taking over anytime soon, because they're sending these sandwich artist applications to Folie because he needs an actual art job.
Who's doing that?
The machine did it. The brain did it, Uncle.
They did it, this thing?
Yeah, the computer did this.
How come I can't see? I don't see this apple here. I'm getting aggravated seeing this apple and not seeing no action.
Well,
you better start turning thing around here, little sidekick.
I don't know what I can...
see all this action. We need another one here.
We need a piece of this action.
I need to see.
And the butt better not be too big.
No, that's true. That's true. There is an artist. There is an artist that I bet Uncle would not like.
R. Crumb? You think about R. Crumb?
No, not that one. We're going to get stranger than that. A discarded news story from my show. It didn't make it because I ran out of time. And I ran out of time twice before giving up on this news story. There is a lady who is on Facebook, right? And what she's doing is she's selling these different religious pieces of art. And it's interesting because it's like, Christ on the cross and all that stuff, right? Now, nobody's got a problem with that. What they have a problem with is the materials she's choosing to use, which she's going to dollar stores, buying Bibles, shredding them, and then turning them into religious icons. So I wonder if Uncle would approve of that. If you take a Bible, those dollar store Bibles, there's usually something wrong with them, right? They're cheap, they're missing words, chapters, whatever. Something's wrong with the dollar store Bibles, right? So she's taking them and she's turning them, shredding them into pieces, and then taking them and making them into solid pieces of like, Virgin Mary, Jesus, different religious icons, let's say, angels, things like this, and selling them. And she had to take it down, and she got death threats from people that were angry that she was shredding up Bibles. And I'm wondering, Uncle, what do you think of that? That's art, right?
Wait a second. Now that you said that there, Chuck, there is something.
It's all right.
There's something about that I must talk about.
Okay.
Anything that talks about the Lord up there, it doesn't matter what, is wrong. What are you laughing at, sidekick?
Are you talking about the Bible is wrong?
The Bible's right, but not to be shredding.
Oh.
Not to do any of that.
Oh, okay, so it's like kind of like the burning of the flag. You just
right, the burning of the flag or burning the books from Footloose. Remember that show?
No, sure, Bacon. But see, if you're taking the Bibles, though, that pretty much nobody wants, nobody buys I've never met somebody who had a dollar store Bible.
A dollar store of anything, even has the Bible word on it, doesn't mean a thing.
What about the Satanic Bible?
Oh, boy. The Satanic Bible by Anton LaVey.
Well, I don't have an art story about that.
We haven't read that.
But the thing is, Uncle, if you're taking it, though, and then you're making nice pieces of art that are, glory to God, right? And you're taking, but you're using the Bibles to make it, right? I mean, this lady, this poor woman, she thought she was doing a good thing. And also trying to make a little money because, look, the dollar store Bibles to make paper mache out of it, I don't know, I guess it was cost effective somehow. And she was making these really neat looking things, actually. And, and painting them and making them nice, beautiful decorations. You might even have them around at Christmas time or whatever. And what do you think of it, though? Because on the one hand, it's not just destroying it, right?
That, in a way, it's destroying. What it's destroying is ripping it up and whatever she's doing with the whole process. But if you make something out of it, not to tear it up, making something out of it, it'll be fine. But not tearing it all over.
So she did make something, so it's okay. It's all good.
In that way.
So it's okay because she's making nice crucifixes and stuff like that you can hang and decorate on the wall, and it's all good.
She's not just rolling a joint.
Well, kind of.
Oh no. Those have those little pieces of paper, and then you wind them up. We're talking about a joint.
Yeah, she's not making
she's
devil
not doing
out of them.
terrible things with it.
I see that no problem with that. It's
okay.
just that what I don't on it is the tearing up part of it. I don't like.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not she's just tearing it up and going, oh, well, I'm just going to throw this in the garbage now. She's taking it and making it into something else, right? So what do you do with let's just say, Aaron brought up the flags, right? There's a proper and right way to burn a flag. Right?
Talking about the flag. That's a good point you came up with.
So what I'm saying is this a bad thing, though, to turn around if you destroy something like that and then create something from it? I mean, even when you burn a tattered flag in a proper way, right, you don't get to – you're not making anything out of it. She's taking something and making something new out of it. So to me, that's I don't know. I figured that's. I mean, I'm not even really all that concerned about it. But I think that's something she shouldn't have been, people threatening her life over. I think she meant well. What do you think altogether?
And that way, yes, it's okay. Because of what you're saying, they making something out of something. It's okay for that point. But back a few minutes about what you said about the flags. I was in the night of Columbus, and we do a proper burning.
Oh, you've got the process of burning the flag down. You know what it is.
What to do with the burning flag.
How's it
Only if it's old.
Yeah, sure.
The only thing we burn if it's old.
Yeah.
Well, he mentioned about a flag.
Because it's all tattered.
United States flag.
Yeah, you need to replace it.
I'm just coming up with what he's talking about here.
The old flag becomes a disgrace in and of itself. You got to get rid of it.
So in the process of doing a proper thing, it's more like what he's saying, is burning it properly. And I've been to those. I've been to those kind of
okay. You've been to the flag burns.
I know because when I was in Florida, we did a few.
There's a service that the Knights
service
offer, right?
that does and do it the right proper way. So everybody go collects old flags and bring them in, and we'll burn them.
Uncle, did you ever have a problem with Antifa and crazy leftist radical atheists coming in, trying to to crash your event and taking the flags out of your hands and going, "I'm going to burn this and desecrate your flag, you right wing sicko"?
Not in personal.
That never happened.
Not in personal. Optimum was standing here, if someone came up to me. But I saw it in, for example, like those books in Flashdance. I mean, in Footloose.
So you're telling me George?
But not live.
You're telling me George Soros has not sent his agents to shake up your wholesome Knights of Columbus flag burning events and turn them into desecrations of America?
No, because if we did, he'd be stopped right there. I'm telling you. He would be stopped right there on his spot.
Put that Molotov cocktail
down.
down.
Back down, and you're not doing it the right way.
No.
People in the Knights would say something. This is not the way to burn a flag.
You might have to use your sword.
No, not the sword. You have to burn the sword. You're going to have to burn the sword. That'd be ridiculous. You can't burn the sword. In fact, I might have the sword next week. Talking about this next week. I want to have my sword out in this conference. And have
what
it right
kind,
here
man?
like this day. Well, I'll show.
Tell Folie about your sword, Uncle.
I'm gonna explain to you when I have it in my hand.
It's a knight sword.
Okay.
It's a
It's
sword.
a knight sword. I'm gonna have that next week.
He has a sword. We have.
If you come and call in sort of next week, I didn't think of it until just now.
Yeah.
But if he calls in, and if he gets a chance to call in again next week, I'm gonna have it right in front of me.
There we go.
So I'm gonna.
We will describe it.
I'll describe it.
Uncle
I got
is
a
a
couple swords too. I mean, just to throw it out there.
With that, we have a caller on the line, Uncle. I know you like me to break into that.
Caller, where you at and who you from? That's what I've been waiting for. What are you laughing at, sidekick? Hello?
What's going on, guys?
Well, everything's going on. We're talking about swords. We're talking about flags. What do you want to talk about?
We're having a seriously energetic, multi-act show tonight, aren't we?
I think so.
Activity things here we're talking about. We have a guest on the line here.
We're drinking wine.
Drinking
all sorts of good stuff.
And we have a guest on the line.
So
a special guest on the line.
Listening, what made me want to jump in, by the way, this is Lloyd again, Seattle.
Lloyd, what up?
Lloyd.
What made me want to jump in tonight was I gotta completely 100% agree with Chuck on this one, because I feel like, first off, it's, I mean, I get like what the Bible's representing and what it is as a religious book and everything like that, but I don't feel like what the lady was doing was wrong. I feel like it was extremely artistic in the sense that she wasn't essentially desecrating anything or destroying anything in a negative manner. She was creating visual aids and pictures out of the text itself. So I really don't think she was doing anything wrong. I mean, some people would say it's wrong because, she was, had scripture. The pieces of paper had scripture on them. But at the end of the day, it's a faith and belief and what you really believe, and it has nothing to do with ink and paper. So turning that material into actual physical pieces of artwork to represent what's in that book, I don't feel like she did anything wrong at all, honestly.
Can I jump in here?
Please do, Folie, yes.
So I got to say that the work that Chuck was describing is the exact kind of work that like every single professor I had in art school would just cream their pants over. They're like, repurposing materials. It's religious icons, and it's like, like it's conceptual. It's like, oh my God, this is like, the apex pinnacle of art school stuff is what I'm saying there. And this woman's probably not even a trained artist. She just has stumbled onto this work. It's like it's gone viral, and that like, shows the efficacy of that kind of work. Like that's what they want you to think about doing there.
Yeah, she was just a lady who enjoyed crafts, apparently. I like that.
Well, the thing, he's right in a way. I come to the conclusion that she was making a design.
Okay.
So we know what we're going through with this necklace last caller called about. It's true. I mean, she made a design. Well, I'm not saying about these other things that happened. I mean, I was just wondering I was telling these people that I just don't like it being teared up. But, that wasn't what the case was about.
Uncle, I think what you're trying to say is you don't know what art is, but you know what you like.
Something like
right?
that. Something like
Let's
that.
just say it. Let's put it simple.
I don't know what pornography is, but I know when I see it.
It's coming to.
I
hear somebody.
It makes sense. What she was doing was, I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily, you'll never catch me, grabbing a Bible and just shredding it, ripping it up, and throwing it in the garbage or something like that. To me, that's a desecration. But what I feel that she was trying to do is actually, just create embodiment of the belief itself in a physical form, like making these different pieces of physical artwork that you could look at and remind yourself of scripture or the belief or whatever. Maybe that was her. I mean, clearly that was her angle. I think it was just a different, it was just a different way of going about it. I mean, what about all these people that, sit here and have pictures of Jesus and Virgin Mary and everything tattooed on their body? Well, when you die and rot away, is that a desecration of the image? Like, I don't get it.
All right. Lloyd coming up with his philosophical questions. Rattle Can Collective, by the way, right? On Instagram, is that right, Lloyd?
Oh, he's clicking.
That is. Yes,
a lot of banging in that chat room.
Yeah, there's some banging going on. It's a banging chat room.
What's going on with that chat room? It's bouncing.
It's a real party over there.
I know, they're bouncing in my ear.
It's like an art school party over there.
What's that? What do they want?
Back getting slapped.
What do they want to talk about? I know you guys want to talk there, chat room. What are you talking about since we have...
They're talking about the same stuff we are. Everybody's trying to get at the crux of this issue of, is it correct to use a Bible from the dollar store, not on acid-free paper, I'll add, and repurpose it in this way?
Sidekick. For one-man question about dollar store.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of these things since you've been going after these...
The Bibles?
The Bibles they're talking about.
I don't remember seeing a Bible at the dollar store that I frequent, but if there is one, I'll buy one next time.
I want to look it over. I want to look it over. I mean, if you see one.
I might just use it for a paper mache project with the kids.
I just would want to see... Yeah.
Most chain dollar stores have a book section. And almost all of them, you will find a Bible, or a few Bibles, I should say, in just about any of the major chain dollar stores for sure. Like the Dollar Tree, I know for a fact, carries one with it's either a blue or a maroon cover. So there you go. I know for sure they do. I've seen them even recently. So they should have them out there in California.
Yeah. Now they're making jokes about acid in the chat room and dropping acid, so to speak.
What's this acid stuff?
Well, I mentioned acid-free paper, but I didn't mean that acid. But, you know, the chat room will have a way of running away with things. Uncle,
I know they do.
Well, how about this? Lloyd, I think we're going to have to say goodbye to you. Anything else you want to say before you go here?
Yeah, you want to say anything? Shout out? Or
no. Like I said, great work as always, guys. I just wanted to chime in. And I thought as an art myself, I love people who quote unquote walk the thin line and between what is so-called correct and what is not. I gotta say, I take this lady's side on this one. I can see how a lot of people may take offense to it, but I truly don't believe she did anything wrong. So, with that, take it as it is, and have a good night, guys. Great show as always. I'll be tuned in next week.
Okay, then.
All right. Thank you. Again, Rattle Can Collective on Instagram. Check him out. Does good art himself and beats, and it's cool. So, yeah. Oh, gosh. Folie, what's going on over there in your world?
What is the pub? Yeah.
How you doing over there?
I mean, I told you before we broadcasted I had 3 cups of coffee right before we jumped on, and I'm starting to really feel it now. I mean, it's midnight, and I'm just so wired.
Is it decaf or is it regular?
Oh, it's the real stuff, Uncle. What's the point of having 3 cups of decaf?
No, I get wild. You want to know? I get wild.
Yeah, you get wild.
I get wild, and these people can't see the wild, and they can see the wildness in me. But that's why I have to have a decaf.
That's why we gave you the decaf.
But with said that, I'm just asking that question.
Oh yeah, it's a good question to ask.
Because now I don't know.
Yeah. Hard to say.
So if anybody else is on that line, get that number down and let's give them in.
Sure. You can still call in. There's enough time for another quick call. But, Uncle, why don't we do the shout-out thing now? Is that okay?
Shout-out?
Yeah, why don't we do that part of the show right now? We're getting toward the end. We got a little bit of time left. But I think
a special shout-out to Robert Smith that asked me to give him a shout-out because he listens.
Oh,
he told me he listens.
Okay.
He's listening. So it's a shout-out to you. And if you want to play the game, get over to the Sidekick and he'll play the game. Tell him what he has to do there, Sidekick.
Are we talking about the Name That Tune on Instagram?
There you go.
Okay. Follow at Uncle Podcast on Instagram. There's a game that we play regular intervals of posts on Instagram. I'll play a song on guitar. It's some popular song written by some popular artist. It's a guitar part from that. You have to listen to me playing the guitar part of that, and you have to comment and say, oh, the original artist and song title are this and this. If you get the answer correct, we give you a shout-out on here.
I won it last week.
You won it last week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why he's on.
Correct.
That makes sense. Well, I'm just because he told me specially to show him out, so I gave him an out.
There you go. Okay,
so,
there it is.
And you know who the others are.
Oh, I know.
The special swordmen.
Yeah.
I call them now the swordmen.
Pure blades.
Pure blades. I mean, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting.
I went in there
guys.
this week, Uncle.
You did?
I did.
What did they just say?
The owner was not there. It was just another regular old customer service associate or whatever it is, and I will be back.
I think what we have to do it on the weekend.
Maybe.
I mean, because that way we can catch him.
Got to catch that owner.
I mean, I want to catch the owner.
They're in there.
I really want to catch him, and I'm thinking of going aside, buying one of these rainbow knives.
Oh, yeah.
I have.
Who isn't thinking of that?
I would like to get one because that design, I think design is pretty nice. If you guys ever been at the one of those stores over there, you should check it out.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, to have one
Highly
of those
recommended.
with a rainbow. Whew, talking about rainbow.
Yeah.
Where is that man Rainbow?
I have a shout real quick.
Go
Folie.
ahead.
Shout outs. Let's hear them.
Shout out.
Okay, so shout out to an Instagram that everybody should follow. It's Stitch and Destroy Clothing, all one word. Stitch and Destroy Clothing. It's a logo that I designed. Talking about designs, I designed the logo for this fine corporation, and they give a lot. It's upcycled punk rock clothing, and that's what you'll find there, and it's real good stuff. So check it out.
His wife would like that.
Stitch and
because she
Destroy
works
Clothing.
for that stuff.
Yeah, to check that out. Yeah, that upcycle thing is cool. That reminds me of my past career or job, my self-employed segment of my life where I was just selling stuff on eBay. It was clothing that I found in thrift stores. I did pretty well.
We still haven't been jumping at thrift stores lately.
It's been a while.
I would like to go to some more.
It's been a while.
Oh, I love thrift stores, dude.
Hey, we'd love to go to some. Where do we have any up?
You're not an art school student if you don't love a good thrift store.
Mm-hmm.
You will
They
be
get
kicked out of school immediately.
Decent stuff. I'm telling you, they got some decent stuff. I was
yeah.
looking at bicycles.
Oh, I'm getting Lucum in the chat room says that's what he does, eBay selling. Oh, good for you. I personally say, and I've told my son this, that's the best job I've ever had. For a number of reasons. Number one, I was working for myself. Number two, I was enjoying it.
The worst thing you were doing, Sidekick.
Yeah, what was the worst?
Making shirts.
Yeah.
They had some kind of nice designs. I gotta admit, they were very nice.
Yeah, I've done a bit of that too. I wouldn't say that was the worst though. That's also enjoyable.
I mean, put it on a picket board, and then you put the shirt on the board, and you start painting. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a proper way to do it.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about, we also had a Etsy shop.
Operation.
Yeah, that was fun, too.
Etsy operation.
Yeah, that was fun, too.
Yeah. That was something like that.
Absolutely.
Still actually have some doing that.
Yeah, it's a cool gig. It's a cool gig. If you get your thing going and it starts working for you, just keep rolling with it.
Yeah.
So people out there doing that sort of thing, making their own self-employment situation happen, shout out to you. Yeah. How about that?
Well,
all you small-time Instagram and people promoting themselves on Instagram and doing their Etsy shop or selling something on eBay, I'm shouting out to you. I salute you.
Yeah.
I salute you. Continue on. Yeah. Anything else along those lines, Folie, that you'd like to comment on?
Some comments?
Oh, well, I mean, it's the end of the show, and I'm going to plug myself. So check out Black Budget Comics at blackbudgetcomics.wordpress.com.
It's on my phone.
It's not safe for work. There's butts. Uncle's not a big fan of the butt, but Chuck is, and Aaron is, and I am. So that should tell you, it's worth having a look at these butts.
What say you to that, Uncle?
Oh, all right. Now let's stop with the conversation with the butts.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind the butts. It's just
has to be the right butt. Okay, that's fine.
It's the size.
It's the size.
It's the size to me.
Well, sure.
It's the size. That's all. But the butts are fine. I'm not saying they're not. I mean, but listen here, Sidekick.
Okay.
I'm trying to talk to this man over here.
All right.
You stop talking.
Tell him.
And I'm trying to tell you that the butt thing is fine. Heavy, though, it says something to me.
Okay.
But other than that, that's okay.
Oh, gosh. But I enjoy how this show immediately got into man talk from the beginning. And cycled back around to it at the end. It's always a good time to do that sort of thing. Hey, a bunch of dudes talking here, may as well do this sort of thing. Folie, Deux, great comic artist. Black Budget Comics issue number 1 out now. Do buy it. Find it at blackbudgetcomics.wordpress.com. Highly recommended. $15, I'm told, by Folie will get you the comic sent in the mail. Is that sort of in the U.S. sort of thing there, Folie?
I've never tried to have someone ship it like, oh, I'm in Australia, send it to me, dude. I mean, I'll have to figure that out if someone does that. But 15, yeah, it's domestic U.S. Should be cool.
Folie, I'm doing your...
You're not hearing the end music, are you?
Oh, is the end music is playing?
It was.
Yeah, Chuck, slow it down with the music. I haven't said anything. I'm not done yet.
This is the end?
Yeah, you're out of time.
About when you
Wait, Uncle's still talking here.
I'm sending to send us the next paragraph of what you make it here, and we'll send you those comic strips, like I said.
I thought we were going
Absolutely.
to like.
Oh, so letting you know.
I thought the show went to like 9 after.
9 after where?
9 after the hour.
You had 3 extra minutes tonight.
That's because because I had the extra minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And they're gone.
All right, 3 extra minutes. Hooray!
Oh
Blue
gosh,
line.
I am having trouble here.
You can't read. You got your glasses on, and I don't even have a pair of glasses on tonight.
All right. Well, we got the Black Budget comics out.
Comic strips out.
You're still live, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just live time.
Oh my gosh. See,
Anybody on that telephone?
No, that's it, guys.
we still have time for calls.
Well,
No.
Get here.
That's it.
Sidekick. I'm trying to see if we get any more calls out.
All right.
At least 1 or 2.
1 or 2. Okay, we're here.
Hello,
So I'm just going to
Sidekick?
assume we're going to 9 after now. We're going to keep talking.
Well, podcast.com. Oh, there's noise.
Yeah, that's it. I'll put the podcast back on.
Podcast. Instagram. Oh,
Add
right
on the
away.
podcast.
Uncle Podcast. Well, we have this guy that said, oh, matter of fact, I forgot to tell you. I bought my bartender. I send out one, and she said, oh, you're on Instagram. Yes. So she's one that will definitely listen to a podcast.
Good.
I got to catch up with her. She's a
Okay.
nice lady, and ask her, how did you like it? I have to get back with her. It's one of those in the bar. I meant to tell you.
Okay then.
Okay.
All right, fine show tonight.
So I joke tonight.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for
Folie.
being here. So,
Black Budget Comics.
and thank you for being on the show. Doing the talking. What are you doing the talking?